Hello everyone, bonjour. It's that time of year again. It is the time of year where parents are once again thinking about back to school. And as a Minister for Families, Children and Social Development, I am also thinking about back to school as I get my kids ready to head back, as I continue also to work with the provinces and territories to roll out both our early learning and childcare program across this country, as well as the National School Food Program. So our early learning and childcare program, we have seen some incredible progress over the last few years, but of course there's still more work to be done. I'd like to highlight that at no point in history have we seen such historic generational investments to create a national system that will benefit generations to come. And as we move forward, we have already seen 750,000 families across this country benefit from this program to date, and we've seen 115,000 new spaces created across this country. We have 8 provinces and territories already at $10 a day, and all other provinces and territories on track to get there by 2026. These investments are, as I mentioned, they are historic investments that will benefit, of course, not only families today, but families for generations to come. The savings that families are seeing right now vary across the province, anywhere from $3,000 to over $14,000 per child each and every year. And so, as I continue to work with the provinces and territories, I am calling for all provinces and territories to continue to work with us to ensure that we see 250,000 new spaces created by 2026. And that will mean more families having access to this high quality, affordable care, which means shorter wait lists and more families benefiting from this program. At the same time, I'm also having conversations with provinces and territories as we move forward with the National School Food Program. And, I truly believe that everyone in this country would agree that we do not want to see children at school hungry. And so I look forward to continuing those discussions and hope to have more to share on that very soon. Thank you very much.
Hi, Minister Sudds. Mia Rabson from the Canadian Press. I'm just wondering if you could update us on the status of your sort of own deliberation on Ontario's request to lift the for-profit limits. I know that was something you were supposed to talk with Todd Smith about, and then he resigned. Has that caused any delay in that, and what's the status of your consideration on that?
Well, as I shared previously, prior to him resigning, the only conversation that I was interested in having with the province was with respect to moving forward with a sustainable funding model for our childcare operators here in Ontario. Since that time, we have seen the province announce that funding formula, which will come into place on January 1st. Obviously, there's been a change in minister at the provincial level here in Ontario, and I look forward to engaging in dialogue with Minister Dunlop, obviously as she gets into the role and gets fully briefed.
Does that mean you're rejecting the request from Ontario to lift the limits on for-profit spaces?
My job as we roll out this national child care program is to ensure that the highest quality, accessible, inclusive, and affordable spots are created. As we move forward with all of our agreements with provinces and territories, we have made the decision to ensure that this is a public system predominantly favoring non-for-profit spaces. So I am always open to conversation with my ministerial colleagues across the country, and I look forward to having the opportunity to speak with Minister Dunlop.
But you didn't answer the question. Are you rejecting that request, or are you still considering it?
I have not had the opportunity yet to meet with Minister Dunlop.
Minister Sudds, Aaron Beswick from Chronicle Herald. again on the issue of for-profit and not-for-profit funding. In Nova Scotia, certainly outside of Halifax, because for-profit daycares, they're small business operators and they're women primarily who will run small businesses, and they've found that they have not been able to be approved to create new spaces and expand their businesses because of provisions in the funding formula with the federal government that say that nonprofits have to be prioritized. But in most of these towns, the nonprofits don't exist. So are you willing to make changes to the formula to allow, you know, small to for-profit daycares to receive funding under the Canada-Nova Scotia Agreement?
Sure, I appreciate the question. Nova Scotia is faring quite well when it comes to rolling out the childcare program here in this province. They made a commitment to create 9,500 non-for-profit spaces over the 5 years of the agreement. They are at over 5,000 of those spaces already announced. And most recently, were able to submit their 3-year action plan, which is a requirement of our funding agreement, which lays forward the plan of how they are going to create those 9,500 spaces out to the end of the agreement. And so they've been able to do so. They have demonstrated that they are committed to the agreement, committed to creating the spaces, and committed to getting to $10 a day by 2026.
Yeah, but you know, if you're in Antigonish and there isn't a nonprofit creating spaces, if you're in Sherbrooke, if you're in all these places where nonprofits don't exist to create the daycare spaces, but there are small business people, and they're all the ones I've spoken to are female small business people and entrepreneurs who aren't able to provide a service that the community needs. Like, are you going to allow for that? And if not, why not? What's wrong with small business owners running daycares?
Well, I would first point out that obviously those that were already functioning, that were already providing amazing service here in the province, continue to do so and are part of the program. They were by no means excluded. But having said that, as I just mentioned, Nova Scotia is required to move forward and to present to us a 3-year action plan, which they have done. And in doing so, needs to ensure in that plan that they demonstrate the ability to provide spaces throughout the province, including rural, including francophone, including serving children with diverse needs. That's what the action plan calls for: accessibility, inclusivity, and getting to $10 a day by 2026. And so, you know, if the province has already demonstrated their ability to meet those targets and to move forward, and I look forward to continuing that work with them. Amazing. Thank you very much.